Arrested after she allegedly shot at multiple cars while traveling on Interstate 10 in North Florida. 22-year-old Taylon Celestine is charged with attempted murder, aggravated battery, and improper discharge of a firearm during a shooting spree in Holmes County. The woman reportedly checked out of a hotel and told the staff that she was going on a shooting spree directed by God in relation to the solar eclipse. She then headed to Interstate 10 in a Dodge Challenger and within 5 miles fired multiple shots into 2 cars, hitting one driver in the neck. That driver was hospitalized and is currently receiving treatment. Authorities located her about 10 miles west of the second shooting near the Ponce de Leon exit. She was taken into custody and troopers reportedly recovered an assault rifle and a handgun from her car.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I like to say, Call Halayim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, where I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Once again, Shalom. Okay, so what you just heard was about this woman in Georgia who went on a shooting spree, who claimed that God, okay, that's the word they use, but we know that the Heavenly Father, his name is Yahweh, and his only begotten son name is Yahweh Shai. But like I said, they said God told her, she said that God told her to go on a shooting spree, and she tried to make it like it had something to do with the eclipse. All right, but I'm not saying that God doesn't have his hand in this, because we know that Esau is actually playing out his role in the earth right now, which is the wicked, and he's doing all his left hand blessing, all right, with the sword, and they're creating all type of devices and things of that nature. Okay, so that's what I'm believing that's happening with this. A lot of these people keep saying, especially wicked people at that, Now, here it is. I don't know this lady, but I see that she got dreadlocks on her head, which are Shiva dreads, okay? And the Heavenly Father ain't with them dreadlocks, okay? So, I'm pretty sure she wasn't living a righteous lifestyle either, all right? So, she's easily could be easily accessed by demons, or just by not knowing, having this wisdom and knowledge, not knowing the scriptures, she'll be easily taken over by whatever devices that Sleazy E has to bring out, because he's going to play his role in the earth. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I think happened to this lady. Anyway, this is we'll get a couple scripts real quick. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You see what I'm saying? Now, if she was living a righteous lifestyle and aware of the type of times that we living in, okay, these perilous times that we living in, she would have a better state of mind of how to handle, hearing, she's saying that God told her to go and do that. Okay, well, the Heavenly Father, he doesn't do iniquity, all right? He sends left-hand spirits, okay, to convince a vessel to do those type of things, all right? And she would know that, all right? And like I said, Esau, man, he has stuff right now. And I'm going to see if I can read a little bit from this article right here. All right, this is an article from someone who used to be in intelligence. All right, and I think his name is her name is Kadish E. Hendrickson. All right, Hendrickson. And I'm just gonna see if I can find where she was talking about hearing voices. So she says, as I was directed to this call for input for an assignment by Dr. Whatever his name is, who is teaching a class I am taking at the University of Washington on international human rights. I am a U.S. Army veteran. I was on contract between 2001 to 2013, serving as both active Army and reserve. In my initial 4 years enlistment, I went to school to become a network switching system operator at Fort Gordon, Georgia. I was educated in communication technology, and so when I started hearing voices a decade ago, it didn't take me long to figure out that I was being experimented on against my will. And which there ain't no such thing as free will. You know what I'm saying? If this is happening to people, the Heavenly Father sanctioned it. All right. Okay. If people hearing voices and stuff like that, nothing don't happen on the earth that the Heavenly Father hasn't sanctioned. All right. It's just how you deal with it. Okay. So ain't no free will. Let's move on. And various ways that the technology could work. At this point, the technology is widespread and being used to read everyone's thoughts, and it is being used by surveillance capitalists to exploit us all. Yeah, okay, so exploit is like when somebody try to, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's like a form of, holding something over your head type deal. Okay. Let's see. What was that? And this is super small. Essentially stealing intellectual properties, right? And making us slaves. Let's see. They definitely aren't using it for altruistic purposes. They are developing mind control as a weapon. I am from Seattle, currently living in Tacoma, and so I am sure with all of the tech companies around here that they just took liberties as far as using people to research synthetic telepathy. I know, however, the U.S. government is involved in that. They've curated a suicide epidemic using psychologically manipulative algorithms and gaslighting in order to keep the technology hidden. I was an active Army reservist when it started. If you look up DARPA synthetic telepathy funding 2009, you will see what I mean about the U.S. government developing this technology for war. They claim originally that they were using it to help suicidal veterans. Instead, we have a for-profit industry here in America where 600 veterans kill themselves every month. I'm sure that many of these suicides are over being gaslit. You would have to be very naive to assume they haven't advanced this technology significantly since making this announcement to the media about DARPA in 2009. If you are hearing about it at all in the media, then the technology has already been around for a while, and enough whistleblowers have outed information that they have no choice but to admit to it being real. If you are on Google and search for hearing voices, it might be an ad. You will find that the technology has been used in advertising since at least the 2007. If you look up sound beaming speakers, you will see that it is now a product anyone can get their hands on. They didn't just invent those speakers a few months ago. The technology was developed on unwilling victims such as me. As recently as the beginning of the Trump administration, Kellyanne Conway was mocked with "microwaves can't spy on you." She was talking about cooking food. She wasn't talking about cooking food. She was talking about radio waves. I have fought this alone for a decade with a defamation campaign against me by both the government I went to war for and the entire entertainment industry. It seems they pushed me to a 4 suicide attempt before I realized that I really didn't want to leave the kids and my family to these people with no way to defend themselves. All of the mass shootings lately have said they heard voices giving them instructions. The people using the technology called it the voice of God weapon because they make people believe they are hearing God or angels. Okay, and you can read the rest of this. They talk about Elon Musk, which is developing the Charagma right now, which is the MOTB. All right. So, yeah, man, that's what's going on when you hear this. This is Esau, man. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna take away from the Heavenly Father sending His left-hand spirits to some of these people, which, you know, like I said, hey, you can have spirits on you too, and then you got Esau at the same damn time, which is, you know, he's the devil himself. Okay, the devil in the flesh. But let's get some more scripts, because I gotta get off here. I'm still at work. Let's see. Let's go to the book of Revelations 6 and 4. This is the book of Revelation 6 and 4, and it reads, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword." This red horse right here, the one that sat on it, this is talking about Esau. All right, Sleazy E, the so-called white man. All right. There's no such thing as a white person or a black person. All right, we all different shades of brown, and those guys, you know, they are translucent because of the biblical curse, leprosy. All right, it's still going on. That's what the problem is with those guys. Their lack of melanin. All right, and to prove that. What I just read to you in Genesis 25, I'm going to go to 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Okay? "Who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called God, and that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." Okay? Now, when it comes to, you know, this guy sitting in the temple, well, what is God's temple? All right? Your body. Okay? Your body is the temple of God. All right? Okay? That's why you're supposed to take care of your body and don't put different abominable foods in it. You shouldn't be out here smoking, being a drunkard. Okay? watching all type of different type of images like pornography and things like that, because you're defiling your temple. So if you have a lunatic, a mad scientist like Esau, all right, and he's out here using radio waves, beaming into your temple, all right, which is, beaming into your body, your flesh, okay, to get different reactions out of you. And then he's so subtle, in his ways, he can basically get you to believe, okay, that he is God having a conversation with you through these radio waves, okay? That's what I'm trying to say, because he has a damn God complex, and then these people, man, it's how you know that these people, they don't study, and our people, the so-called blacks, okay, Native Americans and Latinos, we are the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, okay? And a lot of us, man, 2/3 of us, we're gonna get taken out. They're gonna get taken out. You see what I'm saying? Cause they don't have no knowledge of what's really going on here. And if they was to read their scriptures, they would know. All right, okay. The Heavenly Father called this generation a wicked and adulterous generation. Let's get that. It's 4. All right, this is the book of Matthew 16:4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonah. All right. Well, what I wanted was that top part right there. Okay, a wicked and adulterous generation. Now, how is it that a wicked and adulterous generation, all right, how do you figure that the Most High, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is going to be speaking to you, giving you some orders? The only people in the Bible, that was like even fitting of a person who would get instructions was Moses, all right, which was a righteous man, all right, Noah, okay, who else? Let's see. I think the angels gave Lot some instructions to leave from out of what was that, Solomon and Gomorrah. Okay. What type of level do you think you on that all of a sudden you ain't did no works? Okay. Probably, you don't know the names. All right, you're wicked as hell, adulterous as hell. You're celebrating all the pagan customs that they celebrate here in Babylon. All right, and now all of a sudden you just wake up one day and the Heavenly Father giving you some damn instructions, some wicked shit at that. Okay, make it make sense. But people are so naive, man, and gullible. That they'll fall for anything. They'll fall for anything, man. This is Esau, man. He's using his sword, man. All right, and he's using that in a way to actually bring persecution upon the true believers. All right, upon the elect. Okay, because that's their goal. They want to try to take out the elect. You see what I'm saying? They shooting damn rockets at the moon. They sending voices in people's head. Okay, only a wicked motherfucker be sitting around beaming voices and radio waves into people claiming to be God. All right, and this is what this guy's doing, man. If people can't understand that, man, I don't know what's wrong with them, And a lot of time, man, a lot of people like to keep this on hush. I ain't gonna keep it on hush. I'm gonna point it out. This is the book of Isaiah 14:14. Matter of fact, let's go up. All right, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. And that's exactly what they doing. Okay, the Most High is the one who controls the minds of the people. All right, but you got this guy here. You know, you look up all the different patents and things that they got. You can look it up on the patent website that the U.S. government. Okay, they have all these different patents on mind control. You see what I'm saying? It's worth for Google. You just look it up. All right. And with that being said, Shalom.
This is a story of how it's better to ruin everybody's life instead of being accountable and atoning for your mistakes. It all began at 3 o'clock in the morning when Sherekiah Johnson was arguing with her boyfriend, her live-in boyfriend, in front of her 2 daughters. But she was still married to another man. She claims she was in the process of getting a divorce, but we'll never know the truth about that. And the paternity of the 2 daughters, we'll never know the truth about that. But let me continue. This is 29-year-old Jalen Chaney. He's a kind, sweet young man who's delusional enough to think that he's going to have a family with a woman who's not yet divorced, who believes that he shouldn't put hands on a woman, shouldn't raise his voice to the woman, and should always show a woman respect. And that logic got him stabbed to death. Because, you know, in the world we live in, women think they're going to get in their man's face, they're going to raise their voice, they're going to put their hands on him, and he's going to be a gentleman and take that. And this man was a gentleman, and he took that, and he took a couple knife wounds, and then he took a fall face first and bled out in a pool of his own blood. The neighbors heard the commotion, and brainwashed by social media and television and movies, they thought he was attacking Danielle, but nah, she stabbed him to death in front of her kids, you know, like excellent mothers do. Stab a man to death in front of your children. That's not going to traumatize them. Nah, it's not going to traumatize them. They cool. Children witness murders all the time, right? Wrong. She knew what she did was wrong, so she fled before the police could arrive. And when the police arrived, the police found a bloody scene. The live-in boyfriend was in a pool of his own blood, stabbed to death and not responsive. But Danielle hit the freeway with her 8-year-old and her 8-month-old daughters. And the voices told her that it was time to kick her children out the car. So that's what she did. She kicked her 8-year-old and her 8-month-old out of the vehicle. And the 8-year-old, being the loving, caring sister that she is, clutched the 8-month-old baby and held on as tight as she could. But when you fall out of a Porsche on the 405, you tend to lose your grasp on whatever you're holding in your. The police found a bloody scene. The live-in boyfriend was in a pool of his own blood, stabbed to death and not responsive. But Danielle hit the freeway with her 8-year-old and her 8-month-old daughters. And the voices told her that it was time to kick her children out the car. So that's what she 8-month-old daughters. And the voices told her that it was time to kick her children out the car. So that's what she did. She kicked her 8-year-old and her 8-month-old daughters. And the voices told her that it was time to kick her children out the car. So that's what she did. Old daughters. And the voices told her that it was time to kick her children out the car. So that's what she did. She kicked her 8-year-old and her 8-month-old out of the vehicle. And